Hello guys, this is Dr. Palaniappan Manickam. In this video, we're going to talk about how anyone can follow time-restricted feeding. It is a golden method and more importantly, a free method of weight loss. I'll walk you through step by step where you can start, how you can start and how you can accelerate your weight loss no matter what stage are you in. So it is a 5-step learning process. I myself struggle with discipline with step number 3. Let's dive deep into it. So in our channel, I have posted success stories of patients. These patients, I have not even seen them before. All they did was they watched my YouTube video and followed this simple and effective method and they lost close to 20 to 30 pounds, which is absolutely amazing. It is such a simple, safe and an effective method. Why does this method work? Because we are taking our body to a state where it is ideally supposed to be based on our God's creation. I'm not talking about Nityananda state, that is a different state. So let's revisit the basics again. When you wake up, your insulin wakes up along with you, reaches the peak around 2-3 p.m. in the afternoon and dies down after sunset. And when you start eating along with the insulin cycle and if you stop eating after sunset, miracles will happen, including your weight loss. So insulin is like a bank which is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can deposit food only during this time. If you try to deposit food in any other time, it doesn't get deposited into your life checking account. It gets deposited into your fat account for which diabetes might be the interest which you might not be interested in. So once insulin goes to sleep, the night shift worker growth hormone comes in and repairs all the damages that you have done throughout the day and makes insulin get well rested, and insulin is back again in the morning with a fresh vigor to treat you accordingly. Growth hormone is telling to insulin, இந்த நாள் இனிய நாளாக என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள். So this is like tuning your car. Your car once was driving at 100 kilometers per hour, but now it is not even going beyond 60 kilometers an hour. It needs some rest. You need to fine tune it. You need to take care of it. So my friend Saravana Kumar doesn't even care about his car. His car looks like Karagata car and Soppana Sundari car, and he always tunes to the frequency in the FM station proportional to his weight. Initially it was 98.3, now it is 105.8. It is Radio Mirchi. Sema weight machi. So what is the biggest advantage of this method? That you really don't have to focus too much on the food content initially while you are setting up your eating window. If you eat healthy food, the outcome is going to be faster and better. But if you eat unhealthy food, at least your hormones will forgive you because you are giving time to rest overnight so that they can be fresh for you in the day, even though the hormones know that you are going to beat it up to the maximum. During daytime, your hormones forgive you like a Jesus, and during night time your hormones act as Ramana Vijayakant கொழுப்பு. எனக்கு தமிழ்ல பிடிக்காத ஒரே வார்த்தை. The main reason this method works is it is much easier compared to all the other methods of weight loss. It might be even better. If you open YouTube, there are thousands of videos how to lose your belly fat in 3 minutes, 3 seconds, 3 months. One video is saying if you eat this one drink, your belly will become like Pooja Hegde. The matter Pooja Hegde ku theriyuma. Another video is saying look at this drink, your belly will shrink. The best method is my friend Saravana Kumar's method. Whenever they take a group photo, he shrinks his belly, waits for the flash to be gone, and then he releases it to an extent that the belt strap goes to the next hole. So who should not follow this method? Anybody from age 6 years to 60 years can follow this method. I label this as Chennai Silks method. If you go to the Chennai Silks, which is a huge departmental store in Chennai, you get dresses for everybody from 6 to 60 years old. It's exactly the same method. Everybody can adopt it. Since I said Chennai Silks method, my wife is asking for Adi Tallubadi discount during the fasting window. So if you look at it, the time difference between sunset and sunrise is usually around 12 hours, which is a very minimum and a reasonable fasting window. It doesn't put an extra effort on anybody, including pregnant women and children. Only when you extend the fast to more than 16 hours, then there might be some kind of issues, but usually this is a very simple and effective method if you can start with a 12-hour fasting window. So my wife, when she was pregnant, she used to have this concept of time restricted ordering. She orders ice cream late at night. When I said no, she was like emotional blackmailing me that you are torturing the papa. I said I don't want my papa to become a peepa. Even patients with diabetes can follow this method safely and effectively under a monitored setting. There is a popular misconception that if you fast, your blood sugar levels will go down, which is absolutely not true, because your body has all the compensatory mechanisms, including glucose from the liver, to pitch in if absolutely needed. My uncle, who was a diabetic, was always concerned about whether his sugar levels are low. He was so much concerned that he was keeping his diabetic medications in an Adyar Ananda Bhavan sweet box. So I'm going to tell you 5 steps to follow this simple method. Step 1, you need to determine your eating window. As soon as you wake up, when you're having the first bite, either it could be a coffee or it is a breakfast, you have to look at your watch and note down the time. Then you have to figure out your last bite. Just before going to bed, what is your last bite? So you need to calculate the difference. For example, if you have a coffee with milk or sugar in the morning at 7 a.m., that is your first bite. Let's say you have the habit of drinking milk before going to bed at 10 p.m., then that is your last bite. The difference between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. is going to be close to 15 hours, and that is your eating window. So my friend Saravana Kumar has tough time in calculating this eating window, because he says that I drink a milk right before going to bed and I wake up hungry 2 hours after and I have to eat a chocolate. How do I calculate my eating window? I said the only window that will work for you is to install a window right next to your belly and then open it after you eat. So common question I get is it okay to have coffee? Ideally speaking, to follow this method, it has to be nothing other than water. But if it is helping you to create a habit, black coffee and green tea is okay, but it cannot be with sugar or cream or any other added ingredient. One of my patients asked me, is it okay to taste the food because she is cooking food for her husband? The problem is, even though it is a teeny ingredient, it is more than enough to trigger the hormonal cascade, because your hormones are so powerful. So the answer is ideally no. So an easier solution is to ask your husband to cook the food, and when he tastes it, he will definitely realize that fasting is a better option. So step 2 is you need to stick to a eating window of minimum of 12 hours. Let's say that your eating window is 15 hours. You need to decrease that to minimum of 12 hours. Let's say that your eating window was 11 hours to start with. You still have room to decrease to 30 minutes less to start with, and you can slowly do this to a maximum of 8-hour eating window. Pay attention to this. You need to decrease your eating window and not your fasting window. One of my patient actually decreased 30 minutes, not in his body clock, but on the wall clock. Step 3, consistency. More than the duration of the eating window, consistency of the eating window is the key. If you can do 12 hours of eating window every day for 30 days, that is much better than doing 8-hour eating window for 3 days. We want you to be like Rahul Dravid for consistency and not Rishabh Pant. And step 4, which is the most important advantage of this method, is you don't have to focus too much on the content of the food to start with. Once it becomes a habit, you will notice that you are losing weight. At that point of time, you yourself will get motivated to focus on the healthy portion of the eating window. So as soon as I said that, my friend Saravana Kumar started eating one chicken biryani at sunrise, one chicken biryani between sunrise and sunset, and another chicken biryani at sunset. He ate so much chicken biryani that there is not even a single hen left in the community to wake us up in the morning. So you can go overboard like this. You have to be a little bit reasonable, but you don't have to focus too much on the quality of the food initially until this becomes a habit. So next one is step 5, the most important step, because this is where your patience will come to play. You need patience for this method to work out. Rome was not built in a day, neither was your belly fat. It was a long effort that you have put so far. It will take the same amount of effort to get the belly fat reduced. It depends upon how much intense that you are. I can guarantee you that your belly fat will reduce based on the amount of effort you put in. The more effort you put in by decreasing your eating window, the more outcome that you will see. I guarantee you this. It is like a bank. You just get the interest for the amount of money that you put in. You cannot expect interest for other people's money unless you are having a Kingfisher airline so you can fly to London. So some patients might get the outcome within 3 weeks. Some patients might take 3 months. The key thing is consistency, and I I guarantee you this will work. And throughout these 5 steps, the other most common question that I get is it okay to take medications? Usually yes, but discuss with your physician, because sometimes medications has to be taken along with the food. One of my patients asked me, is it okay to take syrup during the fasting window? I said, as long as there is no sugar, it is totally okay. He said, except for sugar, everything else is added to this syrup. It's called Jack Daniel syrup. I said, syrup. So how will you feel in the first 2 to 3 weeks? Very, very miserable. You will feel dizzy. You will feel hungry. You will not be yourself. You will be like Chandramukhi Jyotika. You will hate me to the core, to a point that you will say that if I get Dr. Pal in my hand, I will break out his pulp. Hang in there. It is going to take some time. If you are noticing some changes, it is actually good that your body is responding to this method. But you should be absolutely happy that this method is going to work. Key thing is consistency. Bite the bullet, get the 6 weeks across, and once it becomes a habit, it is going to be super easy. The problem is these habits have been built up for a long time. For example, when I grew up, my mom used to give a big glass of milk before going to bed. Maybe that is why I became Dr. Pal now. So when you're making a change in the body, your body is going into a shock, which will take some time to recover on its own to the new streamlined process, which is how it is supposed to be. The biggest tip that I can give you is have a water bottle in handy. Take that damn water bottle wherever you go, to the restroom, to the kitchen, to the operating room. I don't care. I guarantee that this method will work if you follow this daily for 3 months without even a single break on a single day. If that doesn't happen, I will change my name from Dr. Pal to Palaniappan. So if you are following my channel, you must have already be within that 12-hour eating window, but look into your family and friends. See which person might have like more than 12-hour eating window. Share this video with them and then ask them to follow the 5 steps and start with the minimum 12-hour eating window. As usual, if you think that you got some benefit out of this video, please consider donation to our AISHWARYAM Trust, where we take care of all kinds of hospice and comfort care patients where they are dealing with their end days of life. Your donation will be much appreciated. Please like, share and subscribe, not to my channel but to your health, so that you don't get any belly notification. One belly at a time. It is absolutely important. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.